You're not dreaming, this is real. The Denver Broncos have flipped the narrative, and now they're coming for the AFC. In this video, we're diving deep into why it's not just hope, it's logic to believe the Broncos are poised for a serious playoff run. From unraveling AFC rivals to Sean Payton's culture shift, there's a storm building in Denver, and it's gaining momentum fast. Not long ago, this team was buried, a 5-12 wreck with no direction and no future. The Nathaniel Hackett era felt like rock bottom. But fast forward to now, and the transformation is undeniable. Sean Payton didn't just patch a broken team, he built a new foundation. He squeezed every ounce of potential out of Russell Wilson, reignited a lost locker room, and led this franchise straight into playoff football. And here's the best part. That wasn't a one-time miracle. That's a new floor. 10 wins is the baseline now. This is not the old Denver Broncos. This is a contender. Look at last season. This team didn't limp into the playoffs. They earned every yard. Statistically, they finished as the 7th best team in the NFL in point differential. Only the Ravens and Bills were better in the AFC. That's not luck. That's dominance. And here's where things get wild. The Broncos went 1-5 in one-score games. That kind of record usually sinks a team's season, but even with those narrow losses, they still racked up 10 wins. What does that tell you? When Denver won, they won big. And when they lost, it was close, down to the final whistle. Flip just a couple of those one-score games, and you're looking at a 12 or 13 win season. Meanwhile, teams like the Chiefs went 11-0 in one-score games, and many of the officials from those contests quietly reassigned to lower leagues. That's not sustainable. That kind of luck doesn't repeat. But the Broncos, they've got room to grow, and that's scary. Now let's talk schedule. Denver is set to face 8 playoff teams this season, but don't panic. Among AFC West teams, only the Raiders have a slightly easier schedule. The Chiefs and Chargers, they've got a tougher road ahead. Denver's opponents have a combined win percentage just over 500, more manageable than what both rivals will face. So not only are the Broncos surging, they're doing it with a clearer path ahead. And that defense, that's where the heart of this team beats. Last season, the Broncos broke a franchise record with 63 sacks. Think about that. A few years ago, this team didn't even have a single 10-sack guy. Now, Nick Bonito exploded for 13.5 sacks. Jonathan Cooper added 10.5. That's not a fluke, that's firepower. Even more impressive, 16 different players recorded at least half a sack. That's not just a pass rush, that's a platoon. Relentless, rotating pressure from every angle. And then there's Jonah Elliss, the youngest rookie in NFL history to record 5 sacks in a season. He did it through pain, battling a shoulder injury most of the year. Now he's healthy. Now he's back. And now he's dangerous. This team isn't just trending upward, they're surging. The roster is deep. The mindset has changed. And the hunger, it's never been stronger. The rest of the AFC better take notice, because the Denver Broncos aren't coming. They've arrived. Let's talk defense, because Denver's is about to get terrifying. Dar Tillman came straight off a full UFFL season, with 0 rest, 0 off-season, and still managed to register 5 sacks. That's grit. That's toughness. And that's the kind of player fueling this new era Broncos defense. But things didn't stop there. They got nastier. Because Denver went out and landed a game changer. Dre Greenlaw is now a Bronco. And his arrival changes everything. This isn't just a good signing. It's an elite-level upgrade at inside linebacker. Think about where we were last year. Injuries struck hard. Alex Singleton went down in a rain-soaked battle. Josie Jewell was gone, and we were left scrambling. Justin Sternad gave his all, but the gap in production was glaring. Now, that gap is gone. Greenlaw closes space that should be unclosable. He turns would-be 3-yard gains into 3-yard losses. His burst, his vision, his tackling, it's violent, controlled chaos. And it's exactly what Denver needed. This is a guy who made Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch fly across the country, begging him to return to San Francisco. He said no, because he saw what's building in Denver. And guess who followed him? Talanoa Hufanga, another heat-seeking missile who can punish runners in the backfield. Now pair that with a fully healthy Alex Singleton, and you've got a linebacking core that can dominate sideline to sideline. Remember, last season, 16 different Broncos defenders recorded at least half a sack. This year, that number could go even higher. With Greenlaw and Hufanga in the mix, the pressure's coming from everywhere. And it's not just the roster. It's the momentum. Last year, Vegas set our win total at 5.5. We hit 10. This year, it's 9.5. And sharp bettors across the league are hammering the over. Why? Because this team isn't just healthy, it's better. We've got continuity at quarterback. For the first time in his football life, our QB has the same play caller 2 years in a row, and that matters. No more starting from scratch. No more learning curves. It's time to thrive. Our defense finished top 3 in the league, and it's only gotten stronger. Vance Joseph is coaching like a man chasing another shot at a head coaching job, and he's putting it all on the field every single week. And then there's Sean Payton, ranked the second best coach in the NFL. The national media is finally starting to wake up to what's brewing in Denver. Even respected analysts are taking notice. One insider put out a list of the most underrated defensive players in the league, and 2 of them were Broncos. The first name he mentioned, Zach Allen. That's not a coincidence. That's recognition. This team is deeper, tougher, more violent, more focused. And the Broncos aren't just planning to compete in the AFC. They're coming to conquer it. Zach Allen was just ranked one of the NFL's top 100 players by ESPN, and somehow that still doesn't capture his full impact. Add in the steal of the offseason, Talanoa Hufanga, and this defense is evolving into something brutal, something explosive, something terrifying. Everywhere you look, the national media is finally waking up. Puff graded the Broncos' offensive line as one of the best in the league, not just solid, but elite in pass protection. In fact, Denver allowed the fewest QB pressures in the entire NFL last season. That's a dream scenario for any quarterback, especially one growing into his role. Give this group time, and they will make defenses pay. And the other side of the ball, Denver's secondary, ranked the 3rd best in the league. But here's the truth. That might be underselling it. The Ravens may have stars like Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, and a loaded rotation, but Denver's backfield is just as deep, just as disciplined, and far more dangerous when fully healthy. And Denver's medical staff. They're leading the league in keeping players on the field, with one of the NFL's best injury management records over the last 2 seasons. Bo Lowry and his staff have turned injury prevention into an art form, and Hufanga, who's been underestimated due to durability concerns, is now in the best possible hands. Let's not forget the draft. The Broncos landed one of the best cornerbacks in college football, second only to Travis Hunter, and they snagged him with the number 12 pick. That's not just a smart move. It's a franchise-defining steal. The national analysts, they're finally saying what fans have felt for months. This team isn't just better. It's ready to win. Vegas raised Denver's win projection from 5.5 to 9.5. And respected betting minds are urging fans to smash the over, because the Broncos are healthier, deeper, and far more dangerous than they were a year ago. Last year's playoff run wasn't a miracle, it was a warning. This year, it's war. And then there's coaching. Leadership defines culture. And in Denver, Sean Payton has set the tone from day one. He's been ranked the second best coach in the entire NFL, and you can feel his fingerprints on every inch of this team: discipline, toughness, and expectation. Look around the league. Some teams lean too much on their quarterbacks to set the culture. Just watch the sideline fire from Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. That leadership is admirable, but it exposes a deeper issue. When your coach isn't the voice, chaos creeps in. That's not happening in Denver. Here, Payton commands the standard. Vance Joseph is coaching like a man on a mission. And the players? They're buying in. Fully. And while the Bengals deal with unsigned stars and locker room frustrations, the Broncos are unified, motivated, and laser-focused. In just 3 short seasons, Denver went from 5-12 despair to real AFC contenders. This is no longer a rebuild. This is a revival. And it's one the entire NFL will have to answer for. The Broncos are back. And they're not hoping to make noise. They're coming to take over.